Good morning, Eliza, Akisha, and Isaiah. On today's video, we're going to be talking about life tips that you can use in your life, mga anak. Well, good morning. Good morning, Eliza, Akisha, and Isaiah. Good morning, Anak. We haven't been doing our live video, but I know you're still at rest there in your bedrooms. But today, I wanted to share you some life tips that you can use when everything is said and done. All right. So here are some life tips. Well, I really enjoyed my time with you yesterday, Anak. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about some life tips that you can use. This one here. Where did that go? Where did that go? So the first tip that you can use, Anak, in your life, sing in the shower, just like mommy. You know, mommy, when she goes inside the shower, she sings and dance. I mean, I'm not looking at her in the shower, but I hear her. I hear her singing and dancing, and sometimes she would drop stuff there. And same thing with Saya. Good morning, Loy. What's going on? Well, anyway, welcome to the show, Loy. We're basically this show is a daddy-daughter show wherein we go live or I go live, and sometimes I would interview my kids, and they would interview some other dads too. Well, anyway, Loy, I think you're doing a great job being a great dad. Well, anyway, going back to the tips that we're gonna do today, daddy-daughter show live tips for today. Sing in the shower, and my youngest daughter, Isaiah, she sings very loudly in the shower. And no wonder she's always happy. So sing in the shower, my friends. Sing in the shower. You know what the next tip that you can do? Use the good silver and plates. I'm talking to my kids right now, Eliza, Akisha, and Zaya, and whoever you're watching right now. You can also do use these tips. Use the good silver and plates. I remember my mother; she doesn't want to use the good plates. It's like, oh, this is only reserved for special occasion. Of course, she said that in the Filipino, in Tagalog. She would say, "This is only good for a special occasion." That special occasion never came. It never came. It was always there on the display, and then we used the regular plastic, ceramic plate. So if you have a good plate, a good silver, use it. Don't let the china cabinet use it. Use it. Use it in your home, right? And feel some sort of fancy, when you're eating, right? So you know what the next tip, Anak, the life tips that you can use. Life tips that you can use. Learn a card trick. I remember you remember when you were kids, I would teach you and not teach you, make a card trick. Even that coin trick that I do, I put it on the back, and then all of a sudden it comes out of my mouth. Learn a trick to entertain little kids because they would love friends and aunts and uncles if you have a little trick that you have in your hand, right? So do that. Learn a card trick. What's the next tip that you can do or life tips is actually plant flowers. Your mom, she's been planting flowers. She doesn't have that green thumb, right? But now she's learning. When she comes home, she would talk to those plants that she has, and she would talk to them. You know what? There's power over having plants, not because you're giving life to a seed, you're actually giving life to yourself too, anak. When you're talking to that plant, you're releasing a blessing. You're giving life. You're giving life. I see people commenting there. Happy Easter there too, Captain Penny there in the Philippines. Thank you very much for your service there. And then Captain D, thank you very much, Captain D. Happy Easter too. Well, anyway, let's go back to our tip. Plant flowers because there's power on planting seed. So if you're planting seed, for example, you plant a seed, just like your words, there's power over what you say. If you plant a positive word, you get a positive result. You plant a negative word, you get a negative result. But if you plant a seed, you plant like whatever mommy's planting right now. Let's just say the ampalaya seed, the bittersweet melon, the bitter melon. She's gonna plant that bitter melon seed. Well, guess what will come out? A bitter melon, whatever. All right. So get and learn how to plant. There's power over there. What's the next tip, anak? Get a good sound system. Get a good sound system. Mommy, she plays that music in her phone. She plays it on in her car. Her sound system in her car is nice and fancy. And that way when you have a good music coming out, you're singing. You're singing. It's like, there's power over singing. Like Saya, like mommy, there's power when you're singing and you have a good sound system. In the class that I teach, we have a sound system and I have that microphone, and then I teach. The people there are dancing. The old people, the people in the retirement home, they're dancing. So you got to make sure you get a good sound system, anak. Okay. So what's the next tip that I can give you, my beautiful daughters? Be the first to say hello. Be the first to say hello. There's this singer. His name is I think it's Lionel Richie. He's got that music. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Well, anyway, when you see people, be the first to say hello. Be the first to say smile. Be the first to ask for forgiveness. Always be the first. There is power being the first. When you say because when you do the first hello, when you say the first hello, it gives you the your advantage. You're having that advantage of setting the mood. Even in the morning when your mom says good morning, it's like all of a sudden you feel like you're in a good mood too, right? So be the first to say hello. All right, what's the next tip, anak, my beautiful daughters? Number 7, live beneath your means. Live beneath your means. A lot of us, a lot of people here, not only here in the United States, but also back home in the Philippines, most of them, they live beyond their means. They're spending money that they don't have yet. The only way for you to be successful is to in financial health is to live beneath your means. If you have $100 in your bank account, you know don't spend more than $100. If you have I know you got more than that, but if you don't spend more than what you have, don't spend the money that you don't even have yet. So learn how to live beneath your means, mga anak. All right, what's the number 8? Drive inexpensive cars, mga anak, my beautiful daughters, Eliza, Akisha. No, don't be like daddy. I had a fancy car, but we were still renting a house. I had a BMW and I was renting a house. Don't be like me. Drive an expensive car, but own the best house that you can afford. I'm talking about owning the best house, not the best house that you cannot afford. Okay. So don't be like daddy, right? The daddy had that fancy Beamer, BMW, but we were just renting a house then, just to impress other people. Stop impressing other people. You know, the only person that you just need to impress is yourself, right? All right. Okay. So driving expensive cars, but own the best house you can afford. Buy a house. Buy a house. Okay. All right. What's the next tip, anak? My beautiful daughters, Alaisa, Kisha, Saya? Buy great books, even if you don't read it yet. Okay. I have lots of books here in my little library. I have books in the bathroom, right? Where I keep my books. Sometimes I don't read them. I just somebody sent me books for some of my friends who are authors too. Buy books because someday when you get tired and sleepy and you just want to read something instead of watching and looking at your phone, you get the chance to read a good book. So we're talking about great books, not just regular books. I need you to read and buy great books, okay? Great books. And then last tip for today, anak, learn to forgive yourself and others. There's power in forgiving. There's power in forgiving. When you're forgiving, you're not forgiving that person. Well, of course, you're forgiving that person. But when you're forgiving, you're giving something. You're giving something. Always remember, giving is better than receiving. All right? It's better to give than to receive. So, forgiving yourself and forgiving others is the best thing that you can do for your life. All right. So, that's our live tips for today. Eliza, Akisha, and Isaiah. If you're still watching, please comment live. Watching on the replay, please comment replay. If you think this is applicable to your kids and to your daughters, this YouTube channel is specifically made for my daughters. So, I talk to them and I interview them and also interview different dads on how to be a better dad and how to be a better daughter. Share it to your friends, share it to your family members. All right. Again, I wish you all the best, my Facebook friends, and also my beautiful daughters, Eliza, Akisha, and Saya. I'm going to share this to you in your page. Again, I'll see you later. Be awesome, be great, be excellent. Happy Easter. Bye bye.